Okay, many of you have probably been in a relationship at some point in your life. If so, who did you share that relationship with, and what kind of a relationship was it? I'm Tyler Stewart, and I'm gonna tell you why there ain't nothing funny about a bad relationship. According to Merriam-Webster, the definition of a relationship is the way two or more people are connected. And there's many types of relationships in the world. There's loving, sexual, abusive, happy, and like family relationships, and many more. But whenever you hear the word relationship, you usually think like sexual. And there's a difference between sexual relationships and loving relationships. Like family members, they don't have sexual relationships unless you're weird. Loving is like a father and a daughter, and they just care about each other. There's no sexual relationships. There's abusive relationships, which you want to steer away from because those sure aren't good. Also, happy relationships and family relationships are just ones you want to keep around in your life, and you just want to keep those. My topic story today that I'm going to be talking about is Sylvia Plath's poem Daddy. And it was written in 1962, which soon after she passed away by committing suicide in a really strange way. But the story is about a bad father-daughter relationship, and it shows how she's treated throughout the poem, like in bad ways, like how her father was like the German in the relationship, and she was the Jew, and you know Jews and Germans don't get along good because of the Holocaust and stuff, so it's a bad relationship that you want to stay away from. Next, I'm going to discuss some of the text from the poem. First, I want to talk about lines 1 through 7. You do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe at you. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Now, what I get from this is like, if you live like a foot, you're the foot, and there's someone else that's the shoe. You're being like surrounded by that person in a way, and it's just showing that like you can barely like breathe, and they're just looking down on you constantly, and like there's nothing good about it. It seems dark and stuff. Next, lines 25 through 28. The tongue stuck to my jaw. It's stuck in a barbed wire snare. Itch, itch, itch. I could hardly speak. Now, I looked up what itch meant in German. It means I. And it's repeating I, which is repetitive, so it's like saying she's having like trouble speaking to her father, and that she doesn't really have what it takes to talk to him about some certain stuff, and like how she can't like get to know him really by talking to him. Another line that I'm going to be looking at is 34 through 35. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. And again, back to the Jew and German relationships, it shows that they're like two complete opposites, and that the dad is like a god compared to her being a Jew. Like, and then lines 71 through 74. If I've killed one man, I've killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year, 7 years if you want to know. She didn't kill her dad or her ex-husband. She just killed him from her life because she doesn't have a good father relationship. Like, she just got completely rid of every father figure in her life because she had no good one to start out with. And in conclusion, sometimes having no relationships is bad, but not having any good ones is even worse. So you want to steer from the bad ones and just try to get as many good relationships and healthy relationships in your life. And Here's my works cited and my image attributions.